Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Augustine Musyoka. I am the Chief Operations Officer, HighPeak Schools in Naivasha. Thank you.
Dr. Daniel is from Moi Primary and Junior School, Kabarak, where I deputize the head teacher, and it's a pleasure to be part of this panel.
Good afternoon, colleagues. My name is Ms. Lydia Nzomo, and professionally I'm a teacher, but in my school I work as the head of growth, innovation, events, and strategic communication at the Roffinfield Group of Schools. Thank you.
I will start with Mr. Mutende. Mr. Mutende, what do you believe are the most pressing issues or challenges facing learners today? We have had a debate on the socials that children are the problem, that children, the discipline is not so good in our institutions. Do you believe children are the problem, or what exactly is ailing us as institutions as far as learners are concerned?
Thank you very much. I think as we look at this subject, in my opinion, it will be out of order to name children as the problem. Because we are, because children are. Actually, the absence of the children, then we are not existing. So I believe if we begin at the point of they are with us, whatever challenge they have, what can we do as educators to help them realize their future? Because the theme we are looking at is curriculum transition journey, reflecting on progress and addressing challenges. And by the end of it, it is shaping the future of learner success. So if we look at them as a problem, then it will be very difficult to navigate through the journey to the end. We should be able to take up the responsibility and ask ourselves in our capacity, what is this that we can do? Because this is a journey. A journey is not a one-time event. A journey needs steps. So it's taking one step at a time, and after taking a few steps, you evaluate and find out, where are you and where are you headed? Have you made any progress? Is there something these learners can do today that they were not able to do 1 year ago or 2 years ago? Then that will be able to be informing our progress in this journey. So yes, discipline issues could be there, as you've stated, but again, we are the educators and the parents at the same time. So we need not to shift goalposts. We just need to face it head on and handle them. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Mr. Mutende believes that children do not really have a problem. We need to face this issue collaboratively. I'll go to Madam Nzomo. The teachers have been accused, especially the heads of institutions, that they are actually the cause of indiscipline in these institutions. First, they don't engage these learners. Secondly, they do not have the capacity to handle the learners, and especially I would say the Gen Zs. What critical skills do you believe a head of institution should have to be able to handle the current generation?
Thank you, Madam Rose. I think in my journey in teaching, I must say, I'm seeing a different type, or let me use type for lack of a better word, a different breed of learners. Learners who are extremely exposed. In my days when I was teaching, I would see a parent who also equally depends on me for information. Right now, I think the parent is equally well informed. So if I'm sitting as a leader, and I'm supposed to be the person who is going to give guidance to both the learner and the parent, I believe a most effective 21st century leader should be one that who is a visionary leader, learner-centered. The leader has to be very, very innovative because these children are smart. You must equally be data-informed. Remember, one of our presenters mentioned that data does not lie, isn't it? That is one key area that most leaders do not want to look at, and I think for me, It is very, very important. And then we need equally to be emotionally intelligent. Like I've said, personally I'm a Gen X, dealing with Gen Alphas and Gen Zs in the class. What am I supposed to do in the event that I'm having an issue with both the learner and the teacher? I need to be very, very emotionally intelligent. And key areas are equally the value-based leader. What values do I want to instill in these learners? And equally, I know in our staff rooms, we must have Gen Z teachers. What values do we equally want to impact on the Gen Z teacher? And such a leader does not only manage a school. Our business is to transform each to a suitable excellence while ensuring that every learner is supported to succeed. So I feel there are key areas that as leaders, we need not to sweep under the rug. We need just to face them head on and ensure that we are in tandem with the current generation. Thank you.
Madam Nzomo has spoken about the need for emotional intelligence in our institutions, and this especially for the heads of institutions. We currently have skills that every learner must possess. Madam Nzomo has spoken on what the heads need to have. What skills do you think the schools should prioritize to ensure that we have a future-ready institution and we ensure that all the children are engaged in our institutions?
Oh, thank you so much for that. First, let me say, if you allow me, let me just also, as I answer that question, let me delve into the topic that talks about transition for an effective curriculum. And because we are talking to the heads of institutions, these are instructional leaders, I would want to comment that you are the creators. You are the co-creators. God has given you as co-creators. As we transition these learners, you know, there's a transition from 844 to the CBE, which is still going on. And I would want also to take this opportunity to say that there's no transition that is easy. I have traveled also many countries in the world, live in Australia, even those developed countries have to transition from one education system to another. It's never easy. But we need to make sure that the transition gives our learners a smoother learning so that it is not, the impact is not, you make it easier for them. And my comment, and I want to comment that before I come to the next one, is that I find that you guys need to do everything that is at your disposal to make sure that, because the learners, as they get to grade 10, is a very critical stage. If you don't transition these learners knowing exactly what they are going to do in senior school, we have lost these learners. And I would really say that the way we have done in the last transition to grade 10, I think we need to do a reality check. So we need to do everything that is possible. By the time your learners are heading to finishing grade 9, they should not be going this way or that way. They should know exactly what they are doing, which pathway they are taking, and what subjects they are taking that pathway that optimizes their ability and interest. So I wanted to make that point. The other thing you asked is about the skills. I would say that if you look at the core competencies, there are 7 core competencies. Actually, that is what we should be achieving, and we should be aiming to achieve. And all those competencies are so critical that you cannot say one of them is more important than the other. Each of them plays a key role. And what is important, especially for the end teachers who are here, to know is that those core competencies, you can't teach them. That's why they come as a result of they are results of a process. The process of the revealing of the learning is what makes the learners have have the core competencies. And I would have, even time would have showed you, like now, maybe like now the learners are learning about some models we have here. It is easy to just go and buy them, but if you are able to model them, and the learners are able to model them, you are trying to show them how to solve problems. So you are instilling the problem-solving competence. A model like this, for instance, and I think it also comes handy to show that competence-based education is about using a lot of materials. It is easy to get money and go and buy and then show the learners. But what competence are they getting by buying? So the approach of learning helps the learners to achieve those core competencies. So I would say, don't underestimate any of those core competencies, because they really pray to bring, remember we are bringing an awesome learner who is able to thrive in life, both academically, socially, somebody that is, all around.
Do you believe as a country we have been able to achieve that? And is there anything else we can pride in as a country to having achieved as far as education is concerned?
Thank you so much, our CEO. When it comes to the achievement so far in CBE, and in line with our topic today, curriculum transition, I would say, personally, I have done audit of the CBE since it started, and I am impressed by the fact that we have migrated from the content-based curriculum to a competency-based curriculum. That is one of the greatest achievements that I would want to mention today. The fact that our learners now are not practicing in rote learning. We are keen with developing the skill, the competency. The world is in need of a skilled person. I always take example of an electrical fault. Assuming as we are seated here and in the room it goes, maybe most of our bulbs go off. And then seated among us, we have a person who can fix. You see now, that person is the one that we need, the person with a skill to fix. So that is one of the achievements that I may mention so far, that the CBE has been able to focus more on. But then getting back to the transition, and I also want to add my point in a question that you had posed on who really is to blame. Is it the learner, the teacher, the parent? I would say parents are very busy today. And we have also negated the role of parenthood to teachers and members of school management, meaning there is a gap between parenthood, people who teach, and then when we go home, the learners get that there is a gap, and then they are now left alone with those digital devices. Then they learn vices from elsewhere. Thank you, CEO.
Thank you so much, Bon Augustine. He has said that parents are so busy. They are not performing or playing their role as parents. Thank you so much, sir. I'll go to Bon Augustine. The schools need support. Bon Augustine has said that the teachers are not getting that support because the parents are very busy. With private schools, institution, and specifically your school, are you getting the necessary support to ensure that you deliver your as a head of institution?
Particularly if we go by the school, that's at Moi Primary and Junior School, Kabarak. The fact is that CBE curriculum is a new curriculum. And when it came, first of all, it had attitude issues, where as teachers, we were not able to embrace it immediately. We were still dilly-dallying in the 844 way of doing things, 844 way of teaching, 844 way of assessments, and all that. So as an institution, through the leadership, one of the basic things that had to be done was to really induct the teachers into the new system properly. And sometimes the seminars that are done maybe during half terms or during holidays were not enough. So going out of your way even to source the experts to come and do the training in the school will do a better job than relying on the 1 or 2 day seminars that are done elsewhere. Going for those seminars is fine. I'm not saying that we shouldn't attend them. But on top of that, capacity building will cause us to go out of our way. And when that is done, not once, not twice, but regularly, with time now, we conform to what is supposed to be done. Because at some point, there was a CS who came up and said, the train has left the station, and it has no reverse gear. So then we have to adopt and ensure the train is moving. Thank you.
CEO, Gravity Center, what partnership can we take advantage of as private schools to transform our institutions? And specifically, probably you could tell us, how can we partner with Gravity Center to transform our institutions?
We can partner with private schools, and actually, as we stand, because a lot of schools, there are schools all over the country, we have launched a mobile CBC center that was launched 3 weeks ago by the CS for Kpsa education, so that we can come nearer to where you are. If you are not able to come to Nairobi, in fact, in a week's time, we will be going to Omabay. And we have been in discussion with the chairman of Omabay, Boaz. So I think we have great partnership that we can work together to be able to empower our first. It has to start with you as the ends of institutions or instructional leaders, and then your teachers and your parents, and then we come back. We come down to the learners. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, that you have told us and guided on how schools can partner with Gravity Center. I'm sure that they have taken notes and they will be able to visit the great institution. I have been there and I love what the CEO is doing at the center. The closing shots to Madam Nzomo. What partnerships have you taken advantage of as Rofin to ensure that you transform our learning? Closing parting shot.
Thank you, Madam Rose. I think as Rofin, we have gone beyond the borders. Looking at the current learner, looking at the senior school that we have done a number of MOUs with universities beyond, and mostly we have universities in Dubai. We have a number of learners who are interested in pursuing their education in that direction. We've also gone ahead and partnered with the latest one is a university in America that we are also doing a partnership with and signed an MOU with them. Over and above, I think, as Rofin, apart from partnerships, we have equally empowered a number of people that come to our school for benchmarking. Last year, we hosted a group from Nyanza, a number of about 20-something principals who came to benchmark. And this year, we also equally hosted a number from Nairobi. Apart from partnerships, we believe in building people. We believe in ensuring that as a community, we work as one. So those are the kind of partnerships that we've done so far. And over and above, I think we equally look at the community. As a group of schools, we really are passionate about CSR. If you look at our socials, our CSRs, we've partnered with KNH and precisely the pediatric wards, both on the oncology ward, and this time around we went to just a normal ward. And we have looked at it from a different perspective, not only being a center of excellence, but sharing our resources with others. In the Diani campus, we've gone ahead and partnered with them, Sambweni County, the level 4 hospital, And we are passionate again about being that we work with children. Again, we go back to the children's ward, the pediatric ward, and we have done something wonderful there with them. And those are the kind of partnerships we've done as a school. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Madam Nzomo from Rofin. She has well articulated on the kind of partnerships they're having. And we realize that with CBE, there is need for great partnerships and even for job shadowing for our children, okay? So this is just to open our eyes that we do not have to always have a budget to go international or benchmark with international institutions. We have our local institutions that have opened up for benchmarking with us as private schools. Thank you so much, Rofin, Madam Nzomo, for that. A closing shot from HighPeak. We have heard from what Rofin is doing as regards to partnerships. Why would I bring a child at HighPeak?
Thank you so much, Madam CEO. Before I give my parting shot, I wanted to mention to all of us that there's a skill gap in terms of capacity building because we had what we are calling mindset. We have most of our members of staff and parents who are still on the 844 mode. And we have collaboratively partnered with the community and our teachers and the parents to upskill them, to bring them information and knowledge about the CBE. Then it comes to your question on how or what makes HighPeak stand out. We are a school that is providing holistic learning and mostly in terms of core curricular activities. As we speak, we are partnered with world scholars, whereby we participate in both local rounds and the national rounds, and we are planning for our learners to attend to the global rounds that are scheduled in China next, that is August, in preparation for the international round that will happen in USA. May I also mention that at our school, we have very well-skilled members of staff who are ready and out to ensure that we bring up an holistic learner. We also have sponsorship programs. We have learners in the community that the school has sponsored so that they can also enjoy this education at one of the best institutions around. May I also say at HighPeak School, we have come up with what we are calling parental empowerment programs. In fact, we hold them across whole sections. We even also have sports day whereby we invite parents. We have a partnership with them. We come and together, we play together, we reason together, and that has created a very strong bond between us and the members of the community and the parents at large. Thank you.
Thank you so much, HighPeak, for the highlights on why we should choose HighPeak. That they have done a great collaboration with the community, which is very important, and the international collaborations that HighPeak has to ensure that we achieve transformation in our institution. This is the parting shot from Mr. Mtende. Why would I come at Moi Primary, Kabarak?
Thank you, Madam CEO. Moi Primary and Junior School Kabarak stands out in a number of issues. One, we are the hosts of this program. So you choosing to come to Kabarak, then by all means Kabarak must stand out. Secondly, Kabarak is a Christian institution. Our programs are aligned on Christian values. Your child being at Kabarak means he's rooted on Christian principles. All our programs do not run short of the Christian aspect, ranging from weekend challenges. We have morning devotions 3 days in a week, Sunday services, guiding and counseling programs, PPI. Almost every day we have a program that is Christian. Number 3, we have done all that we can as an institution to ensure that CBC is running. Anything that the ministry has recommended, that we do, we have tried our best. And so your child being in that school means they are in the safe hands. Both the personnel, that is the staff, and the infrastructure that is required for CBC. And then finally, on co-curricular activities. At Kabarak, we are engaged in all co-curricular activities admissible at primary and junior school. We do participate in the ministry programs, and we also have programs that are away from the ministry programs, which have given us a platform both nationally in the country and internationally. We've had our students going to South Africa on debate issues. We've had our students going to China on tech issues. We have our students going to Rwanda on the same. And so all curricular activities, and you see CBC is both what is in the classroom and what is outside classroom. So your child is safe that in the classroom he will shine, and whatever talent he has outside classroom, they will also thrive. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mtende. He's speaking about instilling Christian values, and I believe then that is instilling value-based learning. And they say our society is as strong as our values. Thank you so much. Parting shot, our CEO, Bwana Duncan.
Thank you. CBE is about exposure. One of the things we are so passionate about is to help the learners in the transition. Now, how will a learner choose power mechanics? Do they even know what it is? How will a learner choose electricity, for instance? And did you know if a learner wants to do mechanical engineering at the university, and that learner misses out on doing power mechanics, do you know they will struggle at the university? They will struggle. If you don't do power mechanics, if you don't do electricity in senior school, you struggle doing electrical engineering at the university. Anyway, what we have done at Gravity, we have actualized all those learning areas in senior school. So that the learners, right from grade 7, they can have a glimpse. So that when you talk about marine and fisheries, they can see, oh, this is marine and fisheries. We have actualized all those learning areas. So I'm just appealing to you, to say this is the time for trips. If you have grade 7, 8, and 9, please bring them to Gravity. They will never regret. And my last one this is for you. And now talk to your neighbor. Tell them, you are either a product of your knowledge or a victim of your ignorance. No, can you tell your neighbor, you are either a product of your knowledge or your ignorance. Thank you so much for creating an opportunity for us to be products. See our products. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, CEO. You're either a product of your knowledge or a victim of your ignorance. I can assure you, CEO, that those who are in here, they are very knowledgeable. And if they were not, the gaps have been filled courtesy of today's conference. Asanteni sana.